Hello, everybody. Hello, one person. Now, first of all, I just want to get it out of the way. I love movies. I love movies, and I'm not telling anybody not to watch movies. I'm just trying to, if you're aware of what I'm explaining to you, you're able to guard yourself from the effect. Okay? Awareness neutralizes it. I'm not saying it totally neutralizes it, but it'll help anyway. But I do offer a solution. I don't think it'll be applied because maybe it'll sound silly to people, but or it won't sound silly. It'll sound like okay, they would never do that. But anyway, and please don't think of politics when I say this. I'm not right or left. I believe a plane flies best with two equal wings. Imagine a plane with only a left wing, or only a right wing. Like, how would it fly? How would it fly? And then, that's what everything's so polarized that we don't realize that maybe we need each other. Maybe we do. I don't know. Okay. So take politics out of your mind listening to this, please. Years ago, I was talking to some other parents at my kids' school, and they were saying any one of us could be a mass murderer. Ooh, like you hear this all the time. People say this all the time, and there would be no way we could see it in them. This is a popular notion, but I don't agree, and I said it. They thought I was naive about life. But I said, this popular notion is dangerous. If we want to have a warm and loving society, we can't think that everybody we look at is possibly one of those people. Otherwise, how are we going to connect with people? How, like thinking everyone is trying to hurt your kids. I've noticed kids change over the years in how they react to strangers. Parents are cagey, overprotective, and fearful, so the fear spills into their children's minds. I don't try to hang out with kids. I'm not a weirdo, but my wife used to say kids loved me. It's because I'm an illustrator and I bring my sketchbook everywhere and I draw strangers, and kids used to look and they go, wow. And they were more social. Like I tell you, this is like almost it's an objective. You can't say objective anything, but this is kind of an objective test, like I draw everywhere. Like right now I live in a little town. I can't do it so much anymore. But I used to bring my sketchbook everywhere and draw people, and it's strange because I see the passing years and the vanishing trust and the vanishing feeling of connection where you could just walk up to a person and enjoy them. I think if I invade people's privacy by drawing people in public, it's only fair that I'm friendly, and if they want to talk, I give them my attention. So I talk to strangers, anyone. Doing this, I've noticed people over the years get more cagey, less social, or friendly to strangers, cliquey and protective. Mind you, this is just Canada. Maybe where you live, it is more friendly, okay? Canadians are a polite but not warm-hearted people. Sorry, my fellow Canadians, but we're nice but not kind. Kids used to talk freely. They used to be the first people to notice me drawing. Okay, I'd be drawing, and the kid would notice first. And, adults are a lot of times in their heads, but the kids, there's someone like, whoa, what's he like? They have the curiosity still, right? I always try to be unnoticed because then you get the best drawings, and you could, I'm trying to draw, not talk to people. But my rule is if you catch me, you have my attention if you want it. Children here, I mean, it's only fair, right? Children here are now different, fearful, cagey. They lost the empathic, gitchy feeling to read anyone. And the default is fear, or even more disturbing, a zombie-like daze. This is the result of thinking everybody is a predator. Everybody may be a predator. Watch out. I mean, when my kids were younger, I told them, oh, there are some bad, but I said, not all people. Like, these are just a very small amount of people. Every once in a while, and I wouldn't say what they do. Like, I actually said, they'll put you in a box. Yeah, they put, like, and I made it so it's not traumatic, okay? That you got to watch out for the odd person, okay? And I didn't tell them this every day. They talked to strangers. We were like, I was there, but they were able to like freely talk to strangers. I allowed everyone to talk to my kids, but didn't allow them to take candy from them. This is important because you want to teach your kids boundaries. Well-meaning people would often want to give them candy. Predators are a very small percentage of people, so if we prevent our kids from talking to strangers, it trains them to be antisocial and unloving. Instead, we should teach them to trust their inner empathic feelings, to spot dangerous people. You get the gitchy feeling. Does anybody know the gitchy feeling? If my kids thought, the gut feeling, the gitchy feeling. If my kids thought someone was creepy, and that wasn't often, but if they did, I wouldn't tell them otherwise. I wouldn't say, oh, no, Tom Hanks isn't creepy. Trust your feelings. Trust your feelings. Okay, parents, tell them to not talk to any stranger. What did I just say? My daughter, parents, I'll get to that later, okay? I'll get to that later. Parents that tell them their kids not to talk to any stranger create a society. We all create a society together, right? But they create a society that doesn't trust or love each other because they never develop the empathic abilities to read each other. So these other parents in the schoolyard waiting for their kids, they told me I was wrong. Just point blank, you are wrong. Ha ha ha, you're so wrong. But I said, I bet I could tell if someone was a mass murderer, predator, just by looking at their faces. And I bet lots of us could too. I'm not saying I'm special. I'm saying I bet you lots of us can. If we trust our gitchy feelings, our gut feelings, our heart, okay? Let's say heart instead. These people were academic types because it was a school across from the university. Okay, and academic types tend to be more kind of like quasi-autistic, you could say. Everyone but my wife and I were highly educated. So they said, hump, 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 that cannot be. We have no idea what is on anyone's mind. Well, that sounds like projection to me, doesn't it? Interestingly, that guy was a guy that my wife got a gitchy feeling over and said he was creepy. Just a feeling. Okay? But then he turned out to be in an open marriage, and the more we found out about him, the more layers of the onion peeled, the creepier he got. But my wife saw something right away, just seeing him, that said, stay away. So, look, he's talking and telling me that there's no way you can tell. This guy had a PhD. That's pretty impressive. But would this mean that he's less intuitive as a person? I think that's my feeling, is that if you get overeducated, you lose your intuition. Or maybe the type of people that get overeducated are less intuitive in the first place, and that's why they feel that they have to get overeducated. I don't know. Empathy and intuition tend to be in your gut feelings, or empathy and intuition are part of your heart. Okay, that's part of your heart. I mean, when Jesus says heart, what does he mean? He means the ego. That's what he means. The ego is good. Okay, ego is not like narcissism. Ego is actually good. Okay, and too much education sometimes replaces the gut completely, or the heart. That's what I should say. It completely replaces the heart completely with the brain, or maybe the left side of the brain. You could say the left side of the brain is the brain, and the right side is the heart, in specific, which is the hyperlogical mathematical language. Like the left is the hyperlogical mathematics language, managerial thinking area of the brain. If someone has like, I know 20 languages, they're very left-brained, okay? So yeah, this guy was projecting his own inability to read people onto me, okay, and everybody. So anyway, he told me that there had to be academic research, of course, with these people. This guy actually, especially, like you couldn't, like they were always wanting to debate. Everything is a debate, and it's like you could never get to the end of anything. Just like have like a self-contained talk. Everything was like, "What's your research? Oh, do you have a study?" When you said he didn't speak in that accent, that's my Polish accent. That's like, but these people weren't necessarily posh. They were just overeducated. Okay, and no insult to people that are overeducated. You're awesome people, but I don't read academic research. And when you're debating something with someone and you can't like actually make any point, and they won't like budge unless you have this, here's a 60-page report, why don't you read it to, and like these people probably read it in like 30 minutes or something. So yeah, like it would take me a long time. But I like Donald Duck comics, old Mad magazines and old literature. Academic research, I doubt that's very interesting. But I did hear about one study because it was making on regular news. Okay, this was on the normal news, and I never read the study. It was just on the normal news, and as you were saying this, okay, the university psychology department conducted, and it was actually the university just across the street. They conducted an experiment where they got homosexual men and with no piercings or any odd makeup or anything. Okay, it was just like a neutral face, not like like that kind of mustache, nothing like that. Okay, and they showed close-up photos, so they couldn't see the hairdos or anything. There's no way there's no facial kind of signal. All right, they're getting rid of all that. Okay, and the photos were in black and white. And test subjects were mostly academic students, so I'm guessing they're a little less intuitive than uneducated people. That's just an interesting thing. If you're going to get uneducated people, I bet you they're a little bit more intuitive and maybe even read faces better. Okay, because they have to rely on their intuition rather than their education. Right. Okay. Still, the majority of them identified which men were homosexual just from the close-up photos. So they could look at the photos and the majority could actually decide yes, and they were right. This isn't psychic abilities. How could they know it? How could they know it? Just from a photo. So my highly educated academic friend or cohort was wrong, I say. It means we read faces intuitively and get a gut feeling in our heart, that can't be explained. So, of course, we could recognize other traits, like if someone's a serial killer, right? Okay, so I betcha if we saw somebody that was a serial killer, we would get this feeling, and we wouldn't know exactly what it is, but we'd know stay away. One other parent, and he was like part of the conversation, and he got angry with me. He told me I was spreading dangerous lies. He was really mad. It was really strange, like really bizarre. This is just before the whole woke explosion, so I wasn't prepared. Really. Like I asked him this is before the woke explosion, but still, like it's like his comment was so out of touch with what was happening in society. And I asked him what was so dangerous. What are you talking about? And he said his brother is gay, so he's really offended. And I'm lying about the existence of such a study. And it's what? He stormed away. I had his email address, so I just sent him the information. He apologized because he read the study. He read the study and he apologized to me the next day, and he was really apologetic, and he was explaining that he's really afraid for his brother because of this study. I asked him what he was talking about. He said, with this information, and try to think, try to get into his head, okay? Do you think this information causes danger to his brother? This information, this study, do you think so? I mean, unless you roll it up, and I'm not talking about rolling it up and hitting him or anything, But it's he said with this information, his brother could be in physical danger or danger of losing his job. Really? This was what, 2012? 2011, and it was in Montreal, so it was the first place woke really hit, and it wasn't the French people, it was the English people there, and the university people. It hit before everywhere else, okay, and I didn't even know it was happening. I wasn't even political or anything, but I was stunned by his response. I was so stunned that I neglected to point out we were in Canada, where he might just get a promotion if people knew. I was stunned, shocked and stunned, because what he was afraid of, really, let's be detectives here. It's he's not thinking that he's going to be hurt from the study exactly. What he was afraid of is if people knew about this study, they might find out that I was right, and people can trust their intuitions and actually read people's faces. This guy was in favor, and I don't know. I'm not saying I know. I'm just saying this is my perspective, and I'm basing it on me and people I've known, and and this guy was in favor of people not having the empathic intelligence to read people's faces. It was only almost 60% of people that could read people's faces that they were gay. And it's it doesn't mean they're going to beat them up. And it doesn't mean that these people in the study are going to chase them down. No. But that was enough to scare him. What a weird fear, I thought. He actively wanted people to distrust their gut feelings, and that's what a lot of them are. You can't just say, hey, I think this, and explore it, and they need oh, what's the study? It's is that the reaction of other academics? So I was thinking, I thought of the other fellow who my wife thought was creepy by her gut feeling. She thought he was creepy, and he turned out to be creepy. So maybe creepy people would want us to not be able to recognize that they are creepy. Okay, I know he's never going to listen to this. There's no way. Okay, so I don't have to worry. Not at all. I'm not naming any names. Think about all that we've recently learned about the people ruling this planet. How intensely creepy, to a nightmare level, they are. Okay, and Hollywood people are a pretty creepy lot. And it seems like an entry requirement, doesn't it? Doesn't it seem like an entry requirement? Of course, they would want us to not be able to recognize that they are creepy. How would they do this? How would you neutralize people's ability to recognize the creepiness in the criminal creepiness in people? Well, with movies and TV, they could confuse people's intuitions by having friendly people play mean people and mean people play friendly people. They could have gay men play straight men and straight men play gay men. They could have adulterers play the faithful people and the faithful people playing the adulterers. Okay, and someone's supposed to figure out who's an adulterer, who's not an adulterer, and they're trying to find a girlfriend or boyfriend, and they don't want to have someone that's an adulterer. And all the movies, the faithful people are playing the adulterers, and the adulterers are playing the faithful people. Like it's like a big prank on us, right? Like, people that have never killed playing a killer. A good, decent person play a predator. Drug addicts play clean people. And non-addicts play addicts. We'd watch it. And then it's, how am I supposed to tell who's a drug addict? if they get the clean people to play the drug addicts and the drug addicts play the clean people. It confuses our minds in a way, like, because when we look at people, we don't have thoughts that we're completely aware of. It's like these are kind of subconscious thoughts that we this intuition. Okay, we'd watch it and we'd teach our psyche how to read faces with everyone switched up. It confuses our whole ability to read people. They may be good actors and they're really good at playing the part, but if they're playing parts the opposite who they are, then they're actually teaching us something completely unintended or completely intended. I don't know. I think, now here's my solution. Okay, here's my solution. And that we should only have killers play killers. Or else we confuse our psyches and we can't recognize someone that has killed a person. Like, how am I supposed to know if they get people that haven't killed people to play people that kill people? Okay, I want to be able to read everybody. You want to be able to read everybody. Everybody should be able to read everybody. It's I had a friend once that I asked that question, like, wouldn't it be great to be able to read people's minds? Like, that would be awesome. And she was, no, that would be a horror. And it's like, interesting comment. Charles Bronson killed many people. Many people. heroically in war. Okay, he killed many people in war. And so then you see Charles Bronson in a movie, and he's playing either a hero or a villain. He's played kind of both, right? Usually a hero, but he's played like morally shady, like morally gray characters too. And Charles Bronson was awesome, wasn't he? Everybody clapping for Charles Bronson, even if you're all alone. Charles Bronson, like, I like seeing him play people that kill heroically in a story because he killed a whole bunch of people heroically in real life. People get upset now when woke people demand only gay people play gay people. But, like, I usually don't agree with woke people, but this, I agree. I agree with them. It's like, let's get gay people to play gay people and straight people to play straight people. Doesn't it? Totally. I know that they're probably saying, like, I know they're not saying that, but I like that, like, I want to be able to know if someone's straight and know that guy, like, he's not listening right now, but if he was, not so I could commit violence against it, he would say, like, oh no, like, then you'd be able to tell who's, and it's like, shut up. We weren't, like, it was all over, like, before, like the end of the 20th century, all that, like, we were past it, okay? It's like, nobody was doing that anymore, that kind of thing. Dog lovers should play dog lovers, not dog haters. They don't get a dog hater to play a dog lover, and like Brad Pitt, I actually Googled it, like, he's playing in that Quentin Tarantino movie and he plays a dog lover. Well, I want to know if he's a dog lover. And it turns out he's a dog lover. All right. Okay. And like, I could look at Brad Pitt and, like, I could see he's a dog lover. That's great. That's what a dog lover looks like, I know what dog lovers look like. But we did that to everybody. You know, I did look at it to see if he loved dogs. So I like authenticity. Okay, the word authenticity. It's not very popular. Like, people love AI. People complain and they say that they don't, but they do. They do. Like, take a look at how many likes are on my videos, and very, very, very low count. Okay. And I'm the only artist on YouTube. Like, everybody else is, you can have someone teaching people art, you know, like, this is how you draw clouds. But there's nobody doing it and saying, here's my drawings, I hope you're entertained. You know, it's like, I know I'm doing something unpopular, but, you know, I love doing it. I love doing it. If nobody looks at it, then I'll die. I'll still die happy, okay? And I'll be there, and God will ask me what I did, and I'll say I tried. And the road to hell is not paved with good intentions. Good intentions lead to heaven, okay? It's like such an evil comment that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. But, I mean, like, woke isn't good intentions because it's fighting evil with evil. So that's not even good intentions, right? Everybody always says it's good intentions, but it's not. It's actually like, it causes people to, like, you're the oppressors and you're the good ones, and it's like that's not good intentions. So, like, the road to hell is it's not paved with good intentions. Like, road to hell is paved with bad intentions. Okay. The road to heaven is paved. I already said that, so I can stop that. Watching movies, how to read people by gut feelings instead of movies, is confusing us. People will say, it's called acting. It's called acting, you goofball baloney head. And I know it's called acting, but I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about being able to read people, okay? Well, if we watch, and they'll say something like, whoa, what if he's a wizard? Should we get a real wizard? Oh, stop it. I mean, yeah, we shouldn't get a wizard, but we should get someone that's really smart, or someone that has, like, mystical feelings. Yeah, so yeah. Okay, don't get an atheist. I don't want an atheist playing a wizard. I want someone that's like some kind of either a wicked pig or else like a really mystical Christian. Okay, so yeah, you could always find some sort of analog in real life. So if we watch decent, non-murderous people play serial killers, we'll be unable to read the face of a real serial killer. I mean, which leads me to wonder about Anthony Hopkins, because he really played that well. Okay, but let's stop thinking of Anthony Hopkins and think about my academic acquaintances. I don't know how we'd go about doing what I'm saying. Like I would love it if they did. Like, why won't people do that? This is the authenticity movement, people. Let's have wizards play wizards. And yeah, if you have a priest, and it better be someone that's really religious. If someone's a Catholic priest, they're playing a Catholic priest, ask the actor, do you believe in Jesus? And if he doesn't, then don't hire him. If you have an atheist and you say, do you believe in Jesus? And they say yes, don't hire him. I want an atheist playing an atheist, okay? I don't, how are we going to go about doing it? We could do it easy, okay? And see, and then everybody would be able to see the patterns in their own guts. And people could start trusting and loving each other again instead of fearing everybody as possible predators. That's paranoia. Did you know paranoia is one of the hallmarks of narcissism? Paranoia is bad. I mean, a paranoid always thinks that they're watching me. And just the feeling they're watching me is, it's narcissistic. We don't want that. Like, we're throwing all this like likes. You know, with this weird like culture, and it's like I want people to like my art, but I notice I'm not showing my face. I'm not showing my face because I want you to like my art or my ideas, okay? But it's not. I guess I can't say it's not me because I'm talking right now. So it is, of course. But it's not a. I don't know. I'm not anti-charisma, but I'm not charismatic, so I I don't even think like showing my face would help. I just look like some Slavic guy. That's what I look like, a Slavic guy. And I draw myself when it's in a story, and I have to draw myself. Okay, I don't draw myself because I'm like, hey, everybody, look at me, I'm good looking. No, I just look like some Slavic guy. That's all. That's all. Okay, and that's basically it. Do you get my point? Like, I think it's a really good point. I think it's an intelligence that we could work on, and we're entering a new age. And let's not be everybody's so disconnected. Yeah. Anyway, look at the links below. I have a whole bunch of books, hundreds of pages of comic books for your entertainment. And it's authentic. I don't copy photos or anything. It's all projected from my mind and my human mind. Okay, everything else is AI art. That picture you see, that's my hand and my mind. Okay, just like I think it and I put it down on the paper. Okay, and that's what art should be, I think. Well, like you could have art that's not like that. But let's I don't know. Let's think of authenticity. All right, we want an authenticity movement. And so so that's it. That's it. Goodbye.